What's up, folks? Bryant McFadden, Patrick Peterson, all things covered right here, coming to you, YouTube via podcast. Make sure you continue to hit that subscribe button and tell a friend. This is a special show. Every show is a special show, but we've got an outstanding guest. Let me go ahead and get into this guest right now, based on giving you guys some of his accolades, and hopefully you can kind of guess who it is. 6th round pick out of Georgia Tech in 2015, 2020 Pro Bowler with the Raiders. Walter Payton Man of the Year nominee with the Raiders as well. And get this, he is a podcast host. The name of his podcast is called Comeback Stories. We definitely will tap into his podcast throughout this conversation. He has an incredible story himself, and we will get into that story as well. You know who it is yet? You figured it out? Well, you didn't figure it out. Guess what I'm going to tell you? Darren Waller is joining us right now. All things covered. Pat Peterson, Bryant McFadden. Let's get to it. So, Darren, your podcast, Comeback Stories, is making a comeback very, very soon. We know you've had Mike Vick on, Michael Phelps lined up for this season. Why is it so important for yourself and others to share these very, very personal stories of perseverance?
I think it's important because, I feel like people, for the most part, they can admire our strengths, but they can relate to our weaknesses. I feel like, just even through my journey as part of, wanting to start this show with Donnie, so many people reach out to me and they are inspired by the darkest moments of my life, or the moments where, I didn't see much hope coming out of it, but found a way out. People take much more from that than they do, my stats or my yards or anything like that. So we want to have conversations like that where people can see guys like Mike Vick and Michael Phelps, like superstars, but at the same time, they experience adversity just like them. They deal with emotions just like them. And so people can take from that and be like, oh man, if they overcame what they were dealing with, I can do the same thing. And just that conversation may inspire something so much deeper on the inside than, just talking about the game,
Yeah. And Darren, you just talked about the two Michaels, right? Phelps and Vick. But is there a potential guest you would love to get on your podcast to have an opportunity to talk to that you definitely would enjoy?
Yeah, absolutely. I would love to have Peyton Manning on there. I would love to have Jay-Z on there, Tony Hawk, Barack Obama, Oprah Winfrey. Like, I'm putting it all out there.
No question. Hey, I'm right there with you. Me and Pat P, that's been a name. Barack has been a name we've been throwing out for quite some time. So hopefully, if he can't get on our show, go ahead and get on Darren Waller's show. I'm okay with that.
Oh, yeah. Keep tracking that energy, man.
No question. Got to throw out in the universe and allow it to manifest. One thing I would like to hit on with you, going back to last year, granted, your team faced a lot of adversity on and off the football field, to say the least. But before he was fired, Jon Gruden came out and said, you were the best player he's ever coached. Now, he's coached multiple Hall of Famers, but hearing that come from Gruden at that time, how did that make you feel?
To be honest, I'm somebody that's still, really truly growing into like a real confidence about myself at that time, for sure. And so to hear that, I was just like, I thought the same thing. I was like, man, he coached, Warren Saps and all these
Brooks.
Yeah. And then, I'm like, I need to really fully start embracing my ability and who I am and what I bring to the table, because I feel like it's rare. It's not, I'm not somebody that you come across every day, and it's not a bad thing for me to own that and walk in that and believe in myself, because that's what the trajectory I feel like my career is going, just with the way that I work and the way that I prepare and try to show up. So that's really a moment where it forced me to be like, okay, I really need to own this, because if I don't believe in it and I don't have the image for myself, who else will?
No doubt. And now let's transition to the current group of Raiders out in Las Vegas. I mean, during the offseason, your team was very, very active, right? March 17th, they go out and sign Chandler Jones, a huge addition to the defensive side. The same can be said in totality to the team. And then March 18th, they traded for Davante Adams, a move that surprised everybody, right? But what were your thoughts when you saw your beloved Raiders making these splash moves to improve your team?
To me, it just seemed like, these people are very urgent about the process of winning. They're not trying to waste time. They're not trying to, they're trying to get the best roster that they possibly can and make the moves that put us in a position for us to succeed and, be in the run for a championship. And that's all you could ask for from the people that are upstairs and putting it together. They're putting together not only a talented group of guys, but guys that, you enjoy being around and showing up to work with every single day. We've seen that, just from the laughs and the smiles and just like the way that guys are inspired by each other in the offseason workouts. So I'm very impressed with how they've been handling business.
And with those Davante Adams, with that move actually happened, before the move happened, there were rumors before the trade, right? And then again, before the draft, that the Packers wanted to get a deal done, but they wanted to include you in the deal. What was up with that? And did you ever take those rumors serious?
I mean, I who knows the real truth behind it. But it makes sense, and I get it. I don't really try to take things like that personally. I know that, God's gonna provide for me wherever I'm at.
Yep.
I trust, my ability to make room wherever I'm at. So didn't really make much of it. And, that's why I just try to just be present to my time with this team, with these guys as much as possible, because you don't know when, because you see guys like Julio Jones and DeAndre Hopkins get traded, some guys that some of my favorite players to watch. And it's just like, man, if those move, I can move at some point too. So it's just like not really taking it personal, but at the same time, I love being with this team, and I'm glad I still have the opportunity to do that.
And talking about taking things personally, throughout this offseason, we saw a lot of Raiders get paid major bucks. Me personally, I'm a fan of the game. I'm a retired player. I cover the game. So I can say things that players probably don't want to say. Most recently, when it comes to your position, we saw David Njoku get a nice deal. Nice deal, right? And when you look at the cream of the crop at the tight end position, you cannot have that conversation going without your name involved. But when I look at the pay scale, Darren, you're getting $7 million. $7 million. Are you hopeful that you can get a deserving pay raise before the start of the season?
I am hopeful, yeah. But I also don't, want to make an expectation of people control over them, and then, have a resentment or something for them. And that, I just try to focus on how I'm showing up for the team and know that, I trust God's timing in all things. That's what's helped my life get back on track. And, but yeah, I'm hopeful that something does get done and, things are in the works. But while those things are happening, I'm going to continue to work and make sure that I show up prepared and that I have the right attitude.
So it's safe to say you won't miss any time if there's not a contract in place before the start of the season. You won't miss any time training camp or anything like that. It's safe to say.
That's not in my plans.
Gotcha. Well, I can tell you this much, Darren. I know you got an agent already talking for you, but I'm going to be another voice of reason. Pay the man. Pay the man. And I'm not talking $13 million a year. I ain't talking $14 million. I ain't talking $15 million. Y'all know exactly what this man's worth is. And you out there in Viva Las Vegas where you roll the dice. You got to get to the table. You got to play big. You got to gamble big. You got to earn big. You got to win big. Pay the man. Pay the man. Pay the man. And one thing I'm hopeful for you guys with Raiders, and because I'm not a Raider fan, but it's something about the Raiders. When the Raiders are relevant, it's good for the game of football, right? And you got a new head coach. Josh McDaniels is the new head coach for the Raiders. Offensive-minded guy. When you look at yourself, you got Carr, Josh Jacobs. You added Davante Adams. Hunter got a new deal. How good can this offense be under McDaniels?
I think it could be special, just with the balance that we can have as far as, Davante on the outside, me kind of moving everywhere that they want me to move, Hunter on the inside going crazy. And then if they want to play a lot of zones and Josh Jacobs has a lot of good looks to run with, and Derek's throwing it all across the yard. So I feel like it'll be, a great year for us. We'll just complement each other very well. And I'm just excited to see how it takes place.
Do you think you guys, when you look at that division, which is loaded, the AFC West, do you think based on the personnel that you've added, the pieces that were already in place, along with the staff, do you think you guys have an opportunity to be the best offense in that division, AFC West?
I do believe so. Yeah, I believe in our ability to show up, and I feel like we're going to hold ourselves to that standard each week, regardless of who's lined up across from us. That's just the belief that we have in ourselves, and we set the standard high. And yeah, we feel like we can be that.
Well, I tell you this much, Raider Nation, they're fired up. I was out in Vegas for the draft. I saw so many Raiders jerseys. No surprise, because it was there in Las Vegas. Man, the black hole is going to be jumping, and I hope you fired up. And I'm going to tell you this much, Darren, I'm probably going to select you in my fantasy draft as well. You know what I mean? So I'm just throwing that out there. I know you might not really be involved in fantasy football, but I am. I'm retired. I'm rocking with you fantasy football because I know you're going to deliver big time. And also you're going to have a new deal. Let's throw that out in the universe too and allow that to manifest. Before I let you go, Darren, I want to transition to the superlative part of our show. Hit you with rapid fire questions. I want your honest, unbiased answer. I know you're a music head. I need your Mount Rushmore of rap. Rap Mount Rushmore.
Rap Mount Rushmore. I got to go Jay-Z. Probably got to throw Nas in there. I'm going Ludacris just from when I was younger.
Yep.
And I might have to put Drake in there.
Ooh. Nas, Jay-Z, Luda, Drake.
Yeah.
No arguments for me. No arguments. I thought you might go Wayne, but I understand. I see the logic. You got to represent, you went to school at Georgia Tech, Atlanta. You got to show ATL some love, so it makes sense. All right. Most hated division rival is who? Who do you hate the most in your division?
I'd probably have to go with the Chiefs.
Why is that?
I don't know, man. It's just that rivalry that's been in the organization, just with the team for years, back to the 60s. And it's just like, I don't know, you see how successful they are. And it's just like, you want to be able to knock them off from where they've been at. And, that's who it is for me.
Okay. 2 more questions for you. What makes Derek Carr so special? Like, because when you talk about consistency at the quarterback position, a lot of people don't throw his name into that conversation, but what makes him so special? Is there a certain trait that he has on the football field, off the football field? You see him day in and day out, Darren, but what makes Derek Carr so special?
I would say it's a couple things. I'll say it's a consistency and confidence and demeanor. And how the game may be going. He's the same energy level, the same speaking to guys the same way as he would if we were up or if we were down, and he's got your back and he wants you to do well. But also I feel like it's his preparation, like as far as, shifting protections and, being able to go up to the line and have a menu of plays in his mind, and he sees a certain coverage and gets to the right play so often. I feel like a lot of people don't necessarily know that about him, but as far as, the pre-snap things that have to get done in order for you to have an effective play, and for an effective play to happen, I feel like he's always on top of that. And I feel like he doesn't get enough credit for that.
Gotcha. Hey, I mean, he definitely balled last year. That's why I think fans are so excited about this year, because seeing what Derek was able to do last year, and you add Davante along with McDaniels, you healthy, Hunter. I mean, man, that offense on Madden is going to be outstanding. I can't wait to play with you guys on Madden, by the way. I don't know if you're a Madden player, but I can go a little bit in Madden. Last question for you. We're going to let you go, Darren. I need your top 5 tight ends currently in the league right now. And I don't want to give you the easy way out. I want you to include yourself if you believe you're a top 5 tight end.
All right. Is this ranked or just names?
Ranked. No, this is a 2-minute situation. Darren, we don't need to get in field goal range. We need a touchdown.
Okay.
Your number 1 through 5.
5. I'll go Mark Andrews.
Okay. Baltimore.
Or I'll go Kyle Pitts.
Okay. You got Kyle already in the top 5 after 1 year. Number 4. Okay.
3, I'll go Kittle. 2, I'll go Kelsey. 1, I'm going myself.
Oh, y'all heard it. The source came from the source, Darren Waller. And with that being said, Raider Nation, Raiders, the organization, pay the man. That's all we want. You know how dominating Darren Waller will be if he just got that new bag going into the season. He's going to be fired up anyway. But just imagine how fired up he's going to be if you already give him what he's looking for, that handsome ransom. Hey, Darren, pleasure, man. Before we let you go, also, this is your opportunity. We talked about your podcast, Comeback Stories. When should we be on the lookout for it? Where can we expect to hear it? Give us a spiel on it.
Comeback Stories. We'll be rolling out some stuff pretty soon, but the first episode will be July 11th. Wherever you listen to podcasts on your streaming platforms, it'll be coming your way. So be on the lookout for that. We got a lot of great content coming your way, a lot of stories that'll inspire you. So appreciate this opportunity.
There you have it. Coming from one of the best guys to do it, a feel-good story, not just on the football field, but off the football field. If you don't know Darren's story, do your research, read up on him, listen to him. This is a man that's going positive places, and eventually he's going to go with positive places with that nice briefcase full of money to talk about on this podcast with Barack when Barack come on there.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes. Hey, Darren, appreciate you, man. Stay safe. Can't wait to see you ball out this year.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you having me, man.